It is officially the trade deadline for the season, so it's time for me to talk about the trades that went down in the league, mostly talking about the ones I made myself, just because I did make some kind of roster balance trades, starting with the one I made early on in the year to get the Clippers some forwards, while also giving the Bucks a center, which they desperately needed. There was a pretty big trade that the CPU executed. Jaime Jaquez and a first for Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown here. Interesting trade by the Thunder. In that playoff series, despite the fact that they beat us, they had not the best bench, but their starters were so good that it didn't matter. And I feel like they traded a bit of that kind of superstar-laden starting lineup to get two players, just kind of a 1 for 2. I don't know, which one I would say is better. This is a really weird trade for me. How are you giving up a first-round pick to get Dosunmu and Josh Hart for Amen Thompson? I think that's a bad trade for the Rockets, but I'll take it because the Rockets have been really good. I wanted a chance to rematch, them at their full-ish strength without KD. But it kind of seems like maybe the end of a Rockets era. That was a really bad trade. This is a trade that I made myself. The Bulls, after this Dosunmu trade for Amen Thompson, had 4 point guards that were 83 plus overall. So Jackson Mays was starting to get buried in their depth chart. So he's going to San Antonio. The Spurs made a massive trade last year to get Jaylen Brown. Now they add Jackson Mays, who was, of course, somebody in consideration for us. And then the Bulls also traded away Kobe White, just trying to balance out their roster a little bit. The Celtics would trade one of their young shooters to get Franz Wagner. They had like 4 shooting guards, all rated above Milos Novak. So that needed to change. So they added Franz Wagner. But the Magic didn't just get worse. They got Ja Morant. So they traded pretty much as the first of 2 trades for the Magic. The biggest trade of the season. Ja Morant's no longer on the Grizzlies. Now, the game for this episode will be against the Grizzlies, and they will have Ja Morant. So this trade was made after this game. But the Grizzlies have just been really bad. Ja Morant is 29 years old, so I feel like he would request a trade at this point, and he has. I also think I made this trade because the Timberwolves needed a point guard. That's pretty much all the trades that I made myself, and then of course there are the CPU trades mixed up in here. No trades for our Blizzard. I think the team's performing really well, and I don't see the need to trade anybody away to get picks in the future. I think anybody's either contributing to somebody that has shown that they are a contender this year, or they're just not good enough to net us any value in terms of a trade. So I will say this is also, I feel like, the case for the Sonics. I'm currently in control of the Grizzlies right now, but just for the Sonics, I felt like everybody is either playing a valuable mentor role, has no trade value, or is somebody that you probably want to keep around for another year. So in future seasons, I'll be, requesting some feedback as to whether or not a trade should be made. I just felt like this year the Sonics are so bad that anybody that they don't really need isn't good enough to be traded. But again, that will change in future years, and maybe a guy like a Sean Martin, if he continues to develop, he could be a trade piece later, or maybe even a Longley. It just depends on how the roster is built going forward. But for this year, neither of the teams will be making any deadline moves. Now let's hop into some gameplay against the Memphis Grizzlies. Saramago's favorite team to play against, as they are, of course, the team that passed on him at number 1 overall, and seeing how they're just 18-32 right now, he likes to remind them just how big of a mistake that was. And even with Ja Morant averaging over 40 points per game in recent games, This Grizzlies team just hasn't been very good here in this series. Moved them over to the East at the beginning, and they've been really struggling there. Let's see how this matchup folds out. Albert Ellis kicks us off with a miss. Morant pulls up for a three. The contest by Ellis. Just enough to force the miss. Rudolph Garrett straightaway look falls for him, and that's the first basket of the ball game. On the drive, Ja Morant gets by Ellis with the lefty finish. With him on a hot streak, it's going to be a high priority to slow him down in this game. Saramago gets his first basket. Desmond Bane gets a screen from Archie Bernard. Wide open three, but unable to find it. Inside towards Mago, but Archie Bernard steals it away. Leads to a car three for Memphis from the corner, but he misses. Michael Graham in the post. Double comes and forces the miss. Nice defense by Jaren Jackson, but Michael Graham steals it right back. Ellis now, guarded by Archie Bernard, gets the switch and dishes it off to Rudolph Garrett for the basket. Here during a timeout, we see that Ja Morant and Saramago are the two top scorers in basketball over the last month, which is nice to see. Mago pulls in a nice rebound there. Morant feeds Archie Bernard. Gets by Saramago and gets to the basket for a shooting foul. Nice moves there by the big man. Oh my goodness, I forgot. He has an underhanded free throw. Oh man. What a player. Underhanded free throw, Archie Bernard. Clayton Rodman checks in, goes up top for McKnight and misses. Jackson got a second chance, but couldn't get that one to go either. Carr on the inside, guarded by Clayton Rodman, who plays nice defense and gets the rebound after it. Saramago no good on the catch and shoot mid-range jumper. Bernard for three. Good contest by Saramago, but it does not matter. Bernard hits it with a defender in his face. Desmond Bane. It's a screen from Jaren Jackson Jr. Fires for three behind it, and that makes it 11-10. Here halfway through the first quarter. McKnight. Dish to Saramago. Baseline jumper. Up and in. McKnight again. This time he'll shoot it, and he drains his first basket of the ball game. Desmond Bane. He's been liking using these screens to fire up some threes. That one's too strong. Going the other way. Rodman tries to find McKnight, but he finds a Memphis defender instead. Step back for Morant. Smooth jumper there. Baseline inbound here. Saramago takes the corner three, but can't find the range. Desmond Bane fires up another off the dribble three. That's been pretty much all he's been able to do offensively so far in the first quarter. Hasn't had the best results. Jackson, give him enough tries and he'll eventually get one to go. Shot clock winding down. Tough shot there. Rebounded by Archie Bernard and put back in with the powerful jam. Jackson inside to Saramago. He's got Grant Williams on him, who's just not big enough. And one Mago. Memphis trying to set up Bernard in the post. He's got Victor Jackson on him, who forces a miss. Pick and roll. Mago and Leonard Miller. Fancy underhanded finish, and it won't go for Leonard. Off the dribble three. Another miss by Memphis. That seems to be kind of what they can get offensively in most of these possessions. We go for one ourselves with Christie, and he misses. Wesley with it. Double screen coming. from the corner. He pulls up for three, and that was a lot of space. Saramago comes up with a steal. Trying to find a cutter there was Morant, and then and one coast to coast for the Brazilian beast. Nice play there. John Morant, first quarter winding down, has Clayton Rodman on him, and nice defense there. That's going to end off the first quarter. 8-point lead for the Blizzard. Heading into the second. Grant Williams in the post, guarded by Michael Graham, and he gets it to go. A little bit of a surprise there. I would expect Michael Graham to have the advantage in that matchup. Albert Ellis falls to the ground, but still drills the three off the catch. Wesley to Williams in the corner. No good for Grant. Graham in the post, gets the double. Leonard Miller finds easy A. Defense collapses, and some excellent ball movement leads to a wide open Max Christie triple. Grizzlies going to the post again. Williams versus Graham. This time, a miss for Williams. Pick and roll, Ellis and Miller. The feed to Miller inside for the flush. Beautiful one-handed jam by Leonard Miller. Pick and roll for Wesley. He pulls up for three. Another miss for Memphis with an off the dribble three. Morant. Step back baseline. That's a nice shot. Vancouver leading by a dozen. Albert Ellis finds Michael Graham, who misses a couple. And eventually the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Inside for Garrett in transition. A nice find by Max Christie. Garrett finishes with a bit of power, and John Morant sees that and answers it right back. Pick and roll Max Christie finding Graham inside. This time he gets it to go. Desmond Bane fires another three up and another one off the mark. Graham in the post, double comes again. Leonard Miller thought about shooting it, instead just chucks it out of bounds. Probably should have just taken the shot. Bane. I mean, that's his one move, and it's not working out for him, and so he's really struggling tonight. Graham misses, but gets the putback up and in with one hand. Morant isolating against Ellis. He'll take a step-back jumper. Nearly got it to go, but it's into the arms of Michael Graham. In transition, Albert Ellis. Tough shots. And he'll draw himself a pair of free throws. Desmond Bane, another three. This time, it does fall for him. Archie Bernard finds Wesley for a catch-and-shoot jumper, but he can't finish. Isolation for Albert Ellis. That's some nice defense, but it does not matter. A finish with the left. High difficulty there. Max Christie catch and shoots. Just like that, Vancouver leads by 19. Going on a run here in the second quarter. Memphis's offense has grinded to a standstill here in this quarter. And that foul in transition will make it a 20-point lead. We're just going to be focusing on the Vancouver makes from this point forward. Just a dominant performance in the second quarter by this team with Saramago off the court. So pretty much every game now, except for that Indiana game, this team has proven that they're much, much better with Ayrton Saramago off the court than we were last year. That was my biggest hole that I was trying to fix. It looks like we've done just that. Here at the halftime, we learned that Saramago is currently in the lead for the dunk contest race. He's also in the mix for the three-point contest, as is Cameron McKnight. So Saramago might be doing a little bit of everything all-star weekend here. Looking at the points, Memphis has only scored 33 at the half, so not a lot of opportunities for anybody to get double digits. Meanwhile, we have Saramago at 17 and Albert Ellis at 11, the two men in double digits. for us at the half. Max Christie just shy of it with 9. Let's get the third quarter underway here, and unless Memphis can make a strong comeback, we might not even finish out this game. Saramago, catch and shoot from the wing there, now gets it in transition and scores once more. Mago just takes it right to Laravia, and there's just nothing he can do about it. I mean, there was no play run there. It's just Mago get to the basket, and he does with some authority. Jackson in the post has Morant on him, and a turnaround jumper looks nice for Victor Jackson. Christie, he's got a nice look from the wing. Drills the three-pointer. We'll get one more Memphis basket here as the third quarter comes to a close, but it will still be a 20-point lead for Vancouver. No big comeback by the Grizzlies in the third, and so we can pretty much call this one a ball game. 129 to 101 in the end. John Morant does still drop 30 on us, 37 and 7. Archie Bernard, solid game as well. Desmond Bane was not great in this one. 45 on the night for Saramago, 23 for Ellis. Really good all-around performance. We're going to end off the season here in the middle of February. 37 and 21 is the record for your Vancouver Blizzard. But perhaps even more exciting, Ayrton Saramago is currently in the lead in the MVP race. We'll quickly go through the rest here. Oliver Thompson is in first place for Rookie of the Year, but then Rudolph Garrett and Michael Graham right behind him. Amen Thompson, currently injured, is your favorite for Sixth Man of the Year. And here are the other awards. Let's go ahead and give a little bit of a stat update for league-wide. And Ayrton Saramago back up over 28 points per game here. So he's exactly matching what he did last year while having an extra half rebound and an extra full assist. The stocks are up as well. His field goal percentage is down a little bit, but he's shooting 45% from 3 this year, and it's not on low volume either. 9 attempts a game, 45% from 3 at 6'11", 250 pounds. He is truly just insane. I thank the Memphis Grizzlies for making this possible. Where would this Vancouver Blizzard franchise series be without Ayrton Saramago? Cameron McKnight, 21 points per game here, 48% from the field and 42 from 3. Albert Ellis, 17.5 and 8 assists, which is really good. Considering he was a guy that didn't come in with really high dish to open man tendency, thought that might be an issue for him. But when the team surrounding you was so good at point guard, you just kind of pile up assists. He's also shooting 97% from the free throw line. There was a comment that noticed that we were 20 games into the year and he hadn't missed any free throws yet. Unfortunately, that streak has ended. 15.5 points per game for Rudolph Garrett, but he's shooting 50% from the field nearly and 41% from 3. He's been awesome as a rookie, better than I was hoping for, which I think is a big reason why we're doing so well. Max Christie, he's shooting it really similar to what he did last year. He's getting a little bit more minutes despite the fact that he was moved to the bench, and he's having his best year of his career, averaging his career high 10.4 points. Michael Graham, the other rookie here, 9 points, 8.5 rebounds, just under 3 assists, just under 2 stocks. 45% from the field isn't, great for center, but it's better than all the centers we've had other than Duren. So there's that. Rodman, 9 points per game. He has gotten his efficiency up a bit, up to 43% from the field now, even though he continues to struggle in spotlight games. Just needs another year, maybe 2, to continue to develop his badges, and I think he'll be just fine. So there's that. Leonard Miller, 8.7 points per game. which is his highest since 24-25, which I think, yeah, that was the year that he didn't actually play. So of the years that he's actually been a consistent member of the rotation, this is his best year, which you love to see. Also his career high in minutes per game with us. And then Victor Jackson. I don't know what it is about backup centers, but I just can't seem to find one that can be efficient at all. That's just the way that it is with this team. In terms of where we stand in the league, let's go ahead and take a look at the NBA standings, where we are the 1 seed in the West. You absolutely love to see it. The Pistons are the only team in basketball with a better record than us, but this is a very good basketball team. We're 3/4 of the way through the season now, and we might have the MVP. The rookie class is looking great. We're the 1 seed. Not much to complain about in Vancouver these days when it comes to the basketball team, at least. And you absolutely love to see it. We will likely be wrapping up the regular season in the next episode. So look forward to that. We'll see if Saramago does indeed win MVP. That's all I've got here for the episode. We'll be back soon with another. Until then, bring the Blizzard.